There's a threshold every commercial aircraft crosses shortly after takeoff that most passengers have never heard named, and understanding it changes how you think about the first few minutes of every flight. It's called V1, decision speed, and it's calculated fresh for every single departure. Before each flight, the crew receives a performance calculation specific to that aircraft, that load, that runway, and that day's temperature and wind conditions. Embedded in that calculation is V1, the precise speed beyond which the takeoff cannot safely be abandoned. What people don't realize is what that number represents in practice. Below V1, if something goes wrong, the captain can reject the takeoff and stop on the remaining runway. Above V1, stopping is no longer the safer option. The aircraft is committed to flight regardless of what happens next. What's interesting is that V1 changes every day. A hot summer afternoon at a high-altitude airport like Denver produces a different V1 than a cold morning at sea level. Runway length, aircraft weight, and engine performance all factor in simultaneously. Here's where it gets complicated. The few seconds around V1 represent the highest workload moment of any flight. Crews train for engine failures at exactly that speed, specifically because the decision window is measured in fractions of a second. And this is where it shifts. The moment the wheels leave the ground, a threshold the passengers never felt has already been crossed. But the detail that stands out most is this. Every safe takeoff you've ever been on involved a number calculated specifically for that moment on that day that nobody ever announced. Did you know there's a precise calculated speed on every takeoff that commits the aircraft to flight?